Aha! Me hearties, a very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue. Welcome, welcome. If you've just joined us, you are very welcome. It's Wednesday evening, and I thought we'd just have a quick pop up to say hi to you. It's just coming up to 10 minutes to 10 on Wednesday the 8th. I think that is, yes, 8th of June, Wednesday the 8th of June, and it's just coming up to 10 minutes to 10. So I thought I'll pop up and say hi to everybody, see what is what, and get the crack, get the chit chat. Hi, Scottie, Dinky-Doo. Good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Phil Johnson. Hello, Phil. Thank you very much, Dinky-Doo. There's Doogie. Hi, Scottie. Dinky-Doo. Scottie says DJ Reggae. DJ Reggae, how good are you? Are the phone lines open? Well, I haven't opened them, DJ Reggae, but I suppose we could at some point. The only thing is I won't be able to get the number up for you. Because I thought we'd just pop up and say hi and see what is what. There we are. Scottie, I hope you're well. Peter, how lovely to hear from you. And Dinky-Doo. Kareem's just joined us. Welcome, Kareem. Lovely to have you with us. And I say to you, good evening all. There we are, Dinky-Doo. I'll pop in a Dinky-Doo to you as well because I think it's important. It's the right thing to do, isn't it? Dinky-Doo, there we are. You've got that now. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, Peter. Kareem is saying stuff. Thank you, Peter. Dinky-Doo and hello, says Kareem. Do you watch Love Island? Well, I don't usually watch things I'm not in, Peter. But I sometimes make an exception. But I thought I'd be rather good in Love Island, from that point of view. Hi, Dinky-Doo. Dinky-Doo, lovely to have you with us. And a very warm welcome. There we are. Now, Phil has just become a top viewer, and he's sent me a panda. Thank you, Phil. What a lovely, lovely thing to send. How amazing is that? Scottie. There we are, Scottie McClue, a friend to me and a friend to you. One shot Paddy. That's very, very kind of you. And a special Dinky-Doo to you, I say. How excellent is that? So there you are. Scottie, what do you do with Wallies? We send them down the spray, Jimmy. That's what we do with them. David and John have joined us. Hello, David. Lovely to have you with us. Professor Numptyhead is here too. And Suzanne has joined us. So we've virtually got a full house. How amazing is that? And we are, of course, national and international. Dinky-Doo, I say to you. Good evening, Scottie Joe. How lovely to have you with us. Now, I hope you're all enjoying the series of photographs on TikTok and on YouTube. Do tell me, because I need to know what sort of stuff you like, and I shall deliver. McClue has always delivered. You've got to give me that. I could tell you, Dinky-Doo. Fantastic, everybody. This is the way it is. Scottie, I've just watched the boys at Hampden win. Jerry. Excellent stuff. So I'm just in time for missing the end of the football tonight. Is that right? So we'll be able to get everybody on here. There we are. Kareem, Dinky-Doo, lovely to have you with us. Wonderful, Mr. Says Numptyhead. Thank you very much, Numptyhead. Kareem, thank you for all your wonderful gifts. Very, very generous. Weights, footballs, wishing bottles, 11s. 11. There we are, a fire pit. Wow. TikToks, Kareem, you're very, very kind. Thoughts on the Great Reset and the World Economic Forum? Well, Max, if there's any truth in that, I do wish they'd leave it maybe another 100 or 200 years before they look at any resetting, because that's going to be a blooming inconvenience to the lot of us, and it's not going to help anything. So there you have it. So I think leave things alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Scottie, didn't you audition for Love Island? No, DJ Reggae. I didn't audition for Love Island. I auditioned for Big Brother and got into the final of the auditions. But they wouldn't take me, I think, because I'd done too much television work. McClue always delivers. Absolutely. Now then, Dinky-Doo, Scottie, Sparkles. How lovely to have you with us. Ramit. Hello, Scottie, Dinky-Doo. Fantastic. Do you think I should have auditioned for Love Island? DJ Reggie, Santa Panda. How did it fit in the postbox? You don't post a panda. There where you get it some bamboo, say, and you bamboozle it. What do you call, I don't know. Oh, I'm not doing that. Can I get a massive birthday shout out to my best pal, Nathan in Ibiza? Yes, you can. Good day, good sir. Geo Dog. How lovely to have you with us, and a very, very good day. Just a quick pop-up, guys, to see how you all are. That's what it's wonderful. Jamie says, McClue always delivers. If he doesn't, that's not my Scotty. Absolutely, Jamie. There we are. Scotty was in Love Island. I'd start watching. Well, I think everybody would start watching if McClue was in Love Island. You know what I mean? The figures would be through the roof, for heaven's sake. Ukraine defeated Ireland. The wars continue. Oh, the real Rory. It's poor old Ukraine. When do we have a braai, good sir? Geodog, I would love to have a braai with you. Now, do not put rice in the braai. It would go up like petrol. There we are. We'll soon be £2 a litre. When will the prices come back down to 50p a litre? What's the earliest you can all remember a gallon of gas? I think I can go to half a crown. That's 12.5 pence in new money. So there we are. Dinky-Doo. Big Brother's back next year. Exciting on ITV. I loved that edition. I went down to the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal's home of Arsenal in London. And I walked in and this delightful young lady said, "Can I help you, sir?" I said, "Well, I wondered if I could audition for Big Brother." She said, "Oh, you certainly can." And it was so interesting because within a few minutes, television cameras were coming over to do an interview saying, "What attracts you to this?" You know, very interesting. Keith Snedden, what are you like? Keith Snedden, you are just amazing. The wonderful Keith Snedden has given me £5. If anybody's up for matching it, I mean, remember, McClue is absolutely 100% free at the point of enjoyment and consumption. But the wonderful Keith Snedden is very, 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 very generous. Keith, you have no idea how much that is appreciated. I thank you. Keith has just sent me £5, and it is far from the first time he's done that. I would think he's done it about 20 times. There we are. Big Brother, absolutely loved Big Brother, watching from Series 1. Suzanne, you could have seen McClue on it if they'd just pushed the envelope a bit. I remember £1.63 a gallon, says Professor Numpty Heat. Was that not for pink paraffin, Numpty Heat? Were you not getting some stuff for the Aladdin heaters? Keith donated to the great Scotty. Yes, he did. And he is such a lovely, generous man. Keith, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so good of you. And it goes towards the equipment. Scotty, Dinky-Doo, there we go. Mute me, go on. Mute me, go on. What does that mean? Who's just sent me a cactus? And now, who have we got here? I don't know what this is here. Some guy. Leo, what are you at? A lot of silly nonsense. I think we'll send you down the Swanee. There we are. It sounds like you're very, very... Is that the right one? We'll leave him just now, just to see what's what. Especially if you kept your bonnet on. Oh, Jerry, you always keep the bonnet on. Keith Snedden, thank you. I'm not in any Love Island, but I wish I was, says Keith. Absolutely. Shall we start one on here? We couldn't call it Love Island for copyright reasons, obviously, but, you know, we might start something else on here. That was so kind of you, Keith. Thank you very much. £5. Oh! So good of you. There we are. You must have tapped the dollar at the bottom. So there you are. Dinky-Doo. Good evening, Scotty. So there we are. Yeah, Leo's getting a bit lost, so we'll say goodbye to Leo. Doon the Swanee with the boy, I say to you. Here we go. Can everybody shout bye-bye, Leo? There we are. Lifetime ban for being an idiot. That's him. He's gone. Now then, do thoughts exist, or are they just in your head? In your head, says Numpty Heat. Who can tell me? Do thoughts exist, or are they in your head? We love it. There we go. We've said bye-bye to Leo. So we'll never hear any more of him, poor soul. There we are. He sounds very, very confused. Dinky-Doo says, big man in Leyland medicated is sending me red roses on TikTok medicated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If every TikToker sent me a red rose, wow. So there we are. Dom's chat, Dinky-Doo. So I don't know. That's right, Dom's chat. He will never pop up anymore. We're saying bye-bye to Leo. Dinky-Doo, big man. Every little helps, my friend. P.S. Hope you're well. Bad news for myself. That's why I haven't been on Keith Sneddon. We send you love. You are in Love Island. The world loves you. And we'll keep the strength coming. We'll keep the prayers. We'll keep the love for Keith Sneddon, guys. Keith's not been very, very well recently. So there we are. Fantastic. But no, thank you, Keith. That is so kind of you. And so much appreciated. Scotty, how are you? Sean, lovely to have you with us. Enjoy your cactus, says Medicated. Yes, I'll handle it carefully. Medicated, thank you so much. Now, who else have we got here? Medicated has sent a treasure box times 20. Medicated, you will clean yourself out. My goodness me, I still owe you a South African bush hat, good sir. Geodog, you're such a lovely, lovely, kindly man. There you are. You're what I call a very fair man. Keith Sneddon, will you stop this? He's just sent another £5. Keith, how are you doing this? Are you tapping the dollar at the bottom of the super chat on the YouTube channel? That's what it seems like. I'm Catalan. I'm learning Scottish Gaelic. I love the language. Ivy. Camera ha u hakama maha. Falchi falchi ki de mille falchi. Don TikTok agus YouTube. Agus Scottiach McCLUE. Gleva maha. Hello, brother from Central Texas. Country boy from Texas. Another treasure box. My goodness me, you clean yourself out, Medicated. Scotty can have a foot reveal. No, Barry, you're on the wrong kind of channel if you're thinking like that, Barry. This is for quality chat. That foot reveal stuff is what we trolls do. And any wee trolls that come on here get sent straight down the Swanee. Now, I'll not do that to you because I believe you're probably mature enough to handle a top talk show. But coming on with stuff like foot reveal, that's way, 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 way beneath any of us on here. Okay, Lala, that's him told. The big man, hello from Edinburgh. Hello, Grace Cell. Dinky-Doo says gravy. Fantastic. All right, Scotty, that's no bother. The last king of the beasts. Keith Sneddon has sent another £5. That's 2 in a row. Hello. Keith, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We send you love and strength. Absolutely. Now, I'm up in the Braid Hills as the transmitters with the Doug. It's foggy. I ken the Braid Hills very, very well indeed. So there we are. So sorry to hear about Keith sending my thoughts and prayers. David McCafferty, you're such a lovely, thoughtful man. Keith will very, very much appreciate your thoughts and prayers. Guys, thoughts and prayers for our Keith. There we are. Kenny Drew. Hi, Scotty. Sorry I missed a few shows, but I'm here tonight. Hope you're having a good evening. Never, ever worry about missing a Scotty McClue show. The only problem is you miss a moment of life, and that's not good for you. But never, ever worry because they are in abundance. Somebody said to me one day, why is it your shows, they're too long, they're about half an hour, 2 hours. I don't have that kind of time. I said, excuse me, why not just listen to 10 seconds of them and put it off? And I know why, because they know they'll get addicted. That's the problem with Scotty McClue. It's an addiction as well. What's the weather like up in Inverness and Snakey? What are your thoughts on Boris's vote of no confidence? Well, I mean, Theresa May did a lot better, and they got rid of her. So I would say Boris is on borrowed time. He's on borrowed time. And I mean, when he says, let's get on with the job of, serving the British people. Now, the job so far has just about crashed us all. So does he mean let's get on with creating more problems for the British people? Higher fuel prices, higher cost of living. Yeah, higher prices at the pumps, less food in the shelves, coming out of Europe, the world's top trading market, 52 countries, 510 million people, just to serve a few elitists and see they don't pay their tax. I mean, what job are they getting on with? That's what worries me. There we are. So I say to myself, but as people are quite rightly saying, who do you get in Boris's place? And there's been a few names mentioned that would frighten the life out of you. So there we are. We're saying prayers for you, Keith, says the lovely Susan. Thinking of you, Keith. When's the next royal party, Scotty? Well, I suppose it will be the 95th year of the Queen's reign. But by that time, she will be... wait till we see what age was she when she took over again? Was she 26? Have I got that right? Yes. So she was 26 when she took over. But I think we should have another Jubilee in 5 years. I think that would be good. And as for that anti-monarchist halfwits, Archie Bargy, not one of them has got a clue what they're talking about. So there, you're welcome, my friend. Thank you to your callers. I hope everything's fine with everyone. Take care. Let everything on here carry on and love us. Keith, we do love you. We've always loved you. And when you phoned and you and I discussed Gardner engines, how fabulous was that? And thank you, Keith, for sending £10. Geodog says, top man to you, Geodog. The Arizona summer's in full swing now. 42 degrees Celsius today. Sean, that would mean you're only 58 degrees away from boiling point. Are you watching the Isle of Man TT races? No, I haven't been. I was very sorry to hear there was a fatality. I wonder if we should ban motorcycles. That sort of thing. Have you visited Balmoral, Scotty? Andrew Downey, the wonderful Andrew Downey. I haven't visited Balmoral, but I used to live up there. Not in Balmoral, you understand. I haven't actually visited Balmoral, but I can remember going on a charity flight for people with additional support needs. And we went on a lovely old Fokker friendship, a Fokker, and we overflew. We got permission to overfly Balmoral, because obviously you can't just fly over a royal residence. It would be too much of a security risk, but with permission. And we overflew Balmoral, and I was invited onto the flight deck to look out the plane windows at Balmoral, at the castle. And it was so wonderful to see. Guys, I can't... Keith will understand where I'm coming from here, but, I've been so privileged in life just by existing. People come along and invite me to things. And I don't know, it's very, very humbling. And I can remember sitting with a boy who was autistic, I think he was. And, it's a long time ago now. In fact, I'm trying to think how long ago it is. Probably 38 years. 38 years. And we were on the Fokker friendship, a lovely Fokker. And we overflew Balmoral. So there we go. Fantastic. Now, who else have we got here? Keith, you take great care of yourself. Because I think, Keith, you see yourself as a very privileged man as well. You'll know exactly what I mean. Just the things we've done and the people we've met. If the royals want to be more in touch with the British public, they should stop shooting game for a start. The Royals don't need to be more in touch with the British public, numpty head. They are in touch with the British public. You saw the Queen the other day. You saw the love for the Queen the other day. Lots of people shoot game. Otherwise, you would have nothing on your table. Have you never had a chicken curry? There we are. Have you never had a pheasant supper? Doon the Swanee with the buffoons, says Geodog. Oh, absolutely, Geodog. They are Oski doon the Swanee. I agree, Scotty. His coat's on a sugary peg. I think, Jerry, but he's Teflon man at the moment. It'll take a long, long time to actually get Boris to go when people have had enough of the misconstruing the truth. That sort of idea. But, somebody was telling me the other day that even although you have elections, they kind of know who's going to be put in place. Interesting, but I've told you before, 25 years ago, I thought Boris would be a good leader for the Tories. But don't blame me. I'm just telling you, I'm the messenger. Good sir, when do we hear the squeeze box again? Well, Geodog, I do have the squeeze box with me. And, we're up for another 9 minutes. So we could maybe manage something in the squeeze box if that's what the people want. Guys, can I ask you to follow me on TikTok? Now, I'm requesting, I'm asking nicely. No, do please follow me on TikTok because we need to get the followers up and up and up. Every single person with a TikTok account should be following Scottie McClue. In fact, everybody with an internet connection should have followed Scottie McClue on TikTok and subscribed to the YouTube channel, the world's best kept secret. But we are thinking about doing a lot more phone-ins, and I think that will make a difference. Honest question, how do you think the universe works? I think it spins on an axis, Ricky, and the gravity. Although, I was talking not that long ago to a flat earth person who was telling me that the universe is flat, otherwise the oceans would empty. So how about that one? Now, there you go. Thanks, Mr. McClue. Take care. Love yous all. Keith Snedden, we love you big style. And I say to you, thank you for your years of service, for your wonderful sense of humor, sense of love for your fellow man, your wonderful driving. That's not for the faint-hearted. Your love of nursing the Gardner diesel, The lovely old bus driver that came on to me one day and he said, Scotty, you're asking about the Gardner. The Gardner did 25 mile an hour up the hill. And Scotty, the Gardner did 25 mile an hour down the hill. And that was a lovely old crash gearbox bus driver. Scotty for PM, would you like to see me as a Mike Papa, an MP, not necessarily a PM? God help us if it's Jacob Rees-Mogg, says Jerry Clem. Well, no, I think they were looking at people like Jeremy Hunt, and folk like that, you see, and what have you. Dinky-Doo, Scotty from the other side of the big pond. Or was that as Chancellor? Were they talking about Chancellor as well? I suppose they would be thinking that Rishi might become the Prime Minister, you see, moving from 11 into 10. Dinky-Doo, Scotty from the other side of the big pond, a walk with nature. We love you on the other side of the big pond. Guys, we've got 6 minutes. Use it well and wisely, I say to you. Great to see you, Scotty. Always love from Boston. G. Chandler, we send love to Boston. And we send love to, are you in Massachusetts? Yes, do you take the Boston Globe? There we are, fantastic. I missed the chat about the Gardner engines, do you? Oh, we've got plenty of chat about the Gardner engines. I follow a wee site on YouTube, and it's a gentleman I think he's in Northern Ireland, and he does up Gardner engines, and he shows you how the pumps work. And I even saw a one-cylinder Gardner, tremendous, and a 3LW. There we are. What did you study and at what university? Jacob or Jacob? I studied dramatic art at the University of Glasgow. There we have it. Take care, Keith. Thanks very much, Keith. I hope you're going to stay with us as long as possible. Good night, Scotty and Kareem, Suzanne, and Keith says the lovely Susan. Thank you, Susan. Look after yourself, Keith, says Suzanne, and sends kisses. And Keith, don't take this the wrong way, but we all send you kisses and hugs and love. That's the most important thing. So that's what we have got there. Right, I'm just looking at the time. Would you like a tune in the squeeze box? Is Biden too old to be president? No, I don't think it would be ageist to suggest that somebody's too old to be president. I'm trying to think what age he is, and I'm trying to think what age Ronnie Reagan was. Because to me, Ronnie Reagan was an outstanding president. He just got it right. You know what I mean? We should privatize the NHS and buy a buy now, pay later scheme. Let your kids pay for it. Listen, what do you mean we should privatize the NHS? I don't think it's a kick in the backside away from it. Have you got any Century Radio nostalgia, Dean? What I'll do in the wonderful Dean Hall, I'll find some and I'll put it up on the TikTok videos. I don't know if you're on TikTok following at Scottie McClue. Guys, I want you to watch every single TikTok video, every single YouTube video on the YouTube channel, and subscribe, tap the bell for your notifications, follow me on TikTok, and like and share the videos. You know, I've put up a lot of sepia, very early photographs. I don't know if you've seen them, and I'd like to know if you like them. So there we have it. Is Edinburgh a nice city? I've been thinking of studying abroad, and I've heard good things about it. Sean PH, if you're doing astronomy, I seem to remember Glasgow. I had a friend who sang an operetta with me, and he was, guys, if you're on the YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up. Bottom left, there's a wee thumbs up. Give us that. That would be marvelous. And make sure you've subscribed. Edinburgh is a stunningly beautiful city, Sean. It's known as the Athens of the North. It's by and large a very early, we're talking about 1300s, the old town, the origins of the old town. You've got the castle up on a rock. I'm trying to think what Edinburgh Castle Rock is. Is it basalt? It's solid rock. And Stirling is up on a basalt. I know that basalt height. But Edinburgh has got the route, the Canon Gate, which was the Canon's Walk between Holyrood Abbey and the castle, known as the Royal Mile of the Canon Gate. Alistair King, DINKY-DOO, Scotty, how are you? We're fine, Alistair. Alistair, I would like to get in touch at some point and see if we can start the old lady. That would be wonderful. I used to listen to your late friend on Century Northeast. Those were the days of great local, and I mean local radio. Dean Hall. I think I know who you're talking about. You're talking about my dear late friend, Mike the Muth. Yes, wonderful. Mike Elliott. You'll see him in the film Billy Elliot. Mike's sadly no longer with us, but what a lovely, funny, clever man. So there you have it. I think this YouTuber, there we are, gaming, search him up. He keeps ignoring me. I think this YouTuber, right. I'll have a look, Sharon, and see what's going on. That's what to do. So I don't know how you're placed these days, Alistair. So there we are. Rees-Mogg thinks it's okay, even if Boris had a majority of one, and it's no problem. Do you know, I saw that Kulelo, and it made me laugh because I remember he was talking when Theresa May, who did far, far better than Boris, and I remember Jacob giving it very bad result for the Prime Minister. So there, it's really quite amusing to watch all the kind of U-turning and volte-face and all that sort of stuff that goes on. So there we are. Now, who else have we got here? Fantastic stuff. Lots and lots of reaction from you tonight, guys. Oh my goodness, I've just seen the time. Better the devil you know, says J.D. Donnelly. Well, at least we know not to trust what Boris says. I wouldn't like, as Prime Minister, to be in that situation. Maria Knight, how lovely to have you with us. And you've just sent me a gift. Please, good sir, a turn on the squeeze box. Yes, Geodog, we'll do something in the squeeze box. There we are. Fantastic. Maria Knight, how lovely to have you with us. Putin only got 20% of donations. Putin's losing. Geodog says, I have a Willys Jeep. Go from 0 to 80 kilometers per hour eventually. Do you know, during the Second World War, you've heard me talk about my father in the Paris. But one of his jobs at Operation Market Garden, after they'd been dropped out of gliders and defended the bridge at Nijmegen in Holland, he was driving the Major in the Jeep. And my father didn't like people prodding him or poking him. And the Major was standing up in the back of the Willys Jeep. So, Geodog, help me here. Would he be holding on to a handle in the back of the seat or something? Or would he just be holding on to the back of the seat? And he was standing up. And my father must have slightly exceeded the convoy speed. And the Major poked him with his stick. And he said, do 37.5 convoy speed. And my father slammed on the brakes. And the Major went, to put it politely, A over T into the footwell of the Willys Jeep. The front footwell. Anyway, this is just the caliber of this officer, though. My father suddenly thought, oh dear, my career's over, my army career's over. But it wasn't. The Major rolled himself up from the waist, squared off his officer's service cap, popped the stick back under his arm, and said to my father, my fault, I think. And that was all that was said about it. Who are the men in the photos behind you? Phil, that's me. That's Lord Reith the Labrador, sadly no longer with us. And these were presentation portraits given to me by the radio stations. So that's what they're doing there. Fantastic stuff. So that's the Willys Jeep. He'll be gone when they start affecting what's being voted and not being voted through. Well, Alan Mack, you see, they're talking about let's get Brexit done. Brexit's an absolute out-and-out disaster, as I predicted 6 years ago. In fact, today, I've done a couple of Brexit videos, one today, one yesterday. So please have a look at the TikTok Brexit videos. And a huge thank you to the lovely Maria Knight for not only for joining us and being so very kind, but for letting us know she's okay. Maria, we love you. Put the electric tax down and gas and petrol now. Well, I don't want to lose diesel. Diesel and petrol cars. What do you think's the better? Diesel or petrol? Right? Now, come on, Geodog. We want your input here. Cool, says Phil. Thank you, Phil Johnson. Did you watch the Jubilee program, Scotty? I did. It was quite emotional. Suzanne? I love the whole thing. And the half-witted idiots that were being interviewed saying, I don't just get it. I don't know what all these people are about. And they don't understand monarchy. In fact, I've put that in a short video as well. The monarchy is there as the curator and custodian of the crown. The most important person is the monarch herself or himself if it's the king. And that's it. And all this chat about individuals, Meghan and Harry and Kate and William and Charles and Camilla and all that stuff, it's, that's the side show. The main show is Her Majesty the Queen, our sovereign lady, our head of state for Scotland, and, quite wonderful. And the monarchy will always endure because the purpose for the monarch is curator and custodian of the crown, our symbol of authority. All right, very clear, wonderful system, worked for thousands of years. I follow you on both TikTok and YouTube. I'll check out your videos. Phil Johnson, do please have you subscribed. That's the important thing. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. You'll see it up there. It's Scottie McClue, Voice of the World, Radio Talk Show. So it's a very humble title. There we are. Have you followed me? So there we are. Dinky-Doo, lovely to have you with us. Long wheelbase. Your Rosa. I don't always agree with your opinions on the Royals, but I love that kind of an open opinion. Jerry Clem, of course. And of course you don't agree. You may have had your head stuffed with nonsense at a formative year, in your formative age. Yes, done that already. Thank you, Phil Johnson. A thoroughly decent human being. No one will get operated on. How stupid. Nicholas, I see what you mean. Hi, Scotty, you're the best. How are you? Rangers 2021 with Dinky-Doo. There we are. Basaltic volcanic rot, says Frog Spawn Caviar. I live in Scotland. It's not nice, but the castle is. Liam, Scotland's beautiful. Basalt. Yes, Geodog. Is Edinburgh on basalt? I know Stirling is. And I know the geo stands for geologist. There we are. An old volcano, I thought, says the wonderful Colin Hogg. Aha! Arthur's Seat. I don't know if you've all been up Arthur's Seat, but that's an old volcano, an extinct volcano. Extinct as opposed to extant. Interesting, isn't it? Scotland 2, Armenia 0. What you think, Scotty? Oh, what I think. I don't want to give everything away here. I live in Scotland. It's not good. Liam Donnelly, it's beautiful. In Glasgow, Liam Donnelly, it's beautiful. Good evening, Scotty Dinky-Doo. Glenn, how lovely to have you with us. From Sheffield, from Steel City. Isn't that amazing? Not been on for a while, Scotty. Big change has been going on. Oh, Alistair, yes. And the lines open, Scotty. They're not tonight, Glenn, but we shall do. Maria Knight has sent me beautiful lambs, and Maria has just become top #1 viewer. Wow, Maria, it's just so lovely to hear from you again. I was concerned that we hadn't heard from you. If we have more deadly pandemic, no one would listen to Boris. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Do you think Boris will be Prime Minister at the end of the year? He's doing okay. He's lasting well. The end of the year is really just another 20-odd weeks. You know what I mean? No one will remove him. Martin, I thank you for your beautiful red roses. Martin has sent me five beautiful red roses. The wonderful Keith on the YouTube sent me 2 times £5. £10. Let's go Scotland and Scotty. Scotty, do you remember me? It's the Zimbabwean. Do you know Zimbabwean? I was thinking about you this morning. Don't panic. I just wondered how you were because I remember us discussing the mess that Robert Mugabe had made of the old Rhodesia. And, we were talking about Joshua Nkomo as well. Remember? And fantastic stuff. Geodog's laughing his head off here. Brexit's not what a fat man does when he sits in a chair. He breaks it. Diesel every time. Colin Hogg, I cannot fault you on that one. I think diesel, the heavy oil engine is the real title. It's called diesel because Rudolf Diesel was the inventor of the compression ignition engine. But it's actually a heavy oil engine. And gardeners didn't talk about diesels. They talked about heavy oil. Heavy oil engines. And of course, I worked with heavy oil engines in the shape of Kelvins, Glenifers, and of course, love the gardeners. I'm currently in Spain, and over here, petrol's just as costly, food's flying up, price as well. Calerio, We should have stuck together as a market. Don't you think we could live without the monarchy? Absolutely not, Real Anonymous. We tried it and it was a disaster. So it's been tried. See, if you want, read your history books, including the Bible, and you will get sorted. That's what I tell you. Very important. So no, we couldn't live without the monarchy because it would completely ruin our system. At the moment, we are the envy of the world. Now, I know envy is not a healthy emotion, but we are the envy of the world. Everyone would like to actually be a monarchy. And those that have thought they could get rid of their monarchy have suffered terribly. Look at poor France. What a mess. Dinky-Doo, Scotty. Hundreds of hangers on. No, G.D. Donnelly, there's not hundreds of hangers on. Her Majesty the Queen self-financing. The heir to the throne self-financing. There's a small amount on the civil list just to keep the more minor royals working. All the rest of the stuff belongs to us. Both diesel and petrol have very specific applications, but I prefer petrol. Well, Geodog, I know what you mean. But I can remember I used to run big petrol Land Rovers, Range Rovers. And I remember being offered, they said, when I was changing the car, they said, we don't have anything in your colour in petrol. We do have a diesel, which fits the bill. When I drove up, I hadn't realised this car was diesel, but I saw it. And I said to the lady with me, I said, I think that's our car. And I found out it was diesel. So I found a friend of mine. I said, I need an opinion here. Maria Knight has sent me a full breakfast. Maria, do you think McCLUE needs feeding up? Partly I've lost a lot of timber. Maria, you are so beautifully kind. You don't need to do that, but it's just lovely to know you're okay. You've no idea the anxiety you've caused by not being on. So there we are. Even if you never sent me a gift, a full breakfast, or a yacht, or whatever, all these beautiful things that you've sent over the piece, even if you never sent a bean, we love you. And we've missed you. Maria Knight, what a lovely, lovely lady. I think Maria's a Yorkshire lady. I'm pretty sure she's a Yorkshire lass, aye. But she might just be on fringe like Derbyshire, aye. That's it. But no, so anyway, Geodog, I rang a friend and I said, they haven't got a petrol, they've got a diesel. He said, go for a test drive and that. He said, you'll never drive a petrol car again. So there we are. And that was it. And I haven't. Fantastic. Live and let live, says Mrs. Larnery. Diesel for longer range. Well, Lee Humphrey, yes. Lovely cars. Cheers for the usage cases. I love to hear the diesel chatter that comes off a diesel engine. Lovely, lovely chatter. Boom, 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 boom. And I can remember the Kelvins went from 1 to 6 cylinders. The one was a thumper, and you could hear them across the water. Boom, 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 boom. The 2-cylinder, boom, 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 boom. The 3-cylinder, boom, 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 boom. You could tell them. The 4, boom, 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 boom. Clacking away there. Tremendous stuff. Cheers for the usage cases. I'll have to look in more to that. Absolutely. Good night, Scotty. Kareem, my dear fellow, good night. Kareem's off to Bobo's. He's a very, very hard-working man, up very sharp in the morning, as a lot of us are, but we can always manage a wee chat. So there you are. Diesel work for engines requiring high torque values, petrol for speed. Well, absolutely, Geodog. But the marine diesels, I'm talking about the Kelvins and the Gardners, slow revving. You could get a 4-cylinder down to 120 revs a minute, 2 tons per second. Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes you just went boom, boom. And you all looked at each other for a second. You went, the engine stopped. Lovely, lovely. It's usually when you're coming into harbour, but and you could also get the two-cylinder down, I think, to 80. I don't think you could get it down to 60. That would be a rev per second. But they were wonderful. You wondered if they were going to make the next stroke. Do you think the Geordie accent's similar to the Scottish accent? Well, I don't know, Geordie boy. It's interesting you asking that question, eh? There you are. Hello, Scotty, DINKY-DOO. They used to say Geordies were just Scots without the brains. Yes, sir, the castle sits on a basaltic volcanic vent. Geodog, you are amazing. And could we by any chance check Stirling? I've never heard of extant before, just checked it out. Kulelo, you'll get your education on here, my boy. I can tell you. Need to see the causeway at the Scottish side at some point. The causeway at the Scottish side. Now, Stirling Castle is near to a place called Causey Side. Is that what you're talking about? Martin's just become a top 3 viewer. Martin, thank you very much. Well, Scottish beef mate. Freedom, Scotland for independence. Get rid of the clowns. Sparky boy, I have to say, I do not think it's in Scotland's interest to be run from Westminster. I have to say, certainly not economically. Scotland isn't the Bible, Scotty, isn't the Bible a history book or a book on current affairs, i.e. end times? The Bible is everything, numpty heed. The whole lot's in there. Somewhere about, you've just got to look for it. So there you are. Hello, Scotty, how are you? Chap says, what's your thoughts on Boris? Well, we've been discussing that. There we are. Falchi from South Africa. Ah, yes. Mille falchi. Kabrahau. Didn't France get rid of the monarchy and then go on to colonize half the world? Well, it did with Napoleon. You know, old Napoleon. But Napoleon was an emperor. So he was effectively a monarch, you know, really. Wee corporal. And they love it. They love to get into all this stuff. There we are. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Probs would put his family in power. Probs would have put his family in power after if he wasn't killed. Not sure we've got there. EV is the way, and free charging only in Scotland has saved me a fortune. Yeah, but will it remain free for any length of time? Scotty, it's time you were. I'd be worried. You're looking fresh, big man. I thank you, Flotai. You're Rouser. Sorry, he got deported to an island. He got deported to... Now, I get mixed up here. Was he from Elba and ended up in St. Helena? Because it was British. Is that right? Well, he was Corsican. No, he was a Corsican Napoleon, wasn't he? There we have it. You buy petrol for smiles. You buy a diesel for miles. I have the best of both. Alistair, absolutely. Diesel's less volatile, safer to use. Geodog, absolutely, 100%, yes. Petrol fires are horrible. Well, of course, this is why boats, particularly wooden boats, used to have petrol engines. And then I think in the early 1930s, a lot of them changed to oil engines because you didn't have the fire risk. Because the problem is with a boat enclosed, you can build up fumes in the way fire damp would build up in a mine. And I only need somebody to go to cook a wee bit bacon or something. Boosh, the whole boat's up. And a fire in a wooden boat is not good. Campbell says it's too late to go to bed. It's never too late to go to bed, Campbell. I can tell you that. Remember, McCLUE used to get home at 3, 4 in the morning. Scotty, you're peddling myths regarding the monarchy. You don't have any facts to back up your claims. Pray 4 questions. You're talking to a man who's a recognized expert on the monarchy, who's been studying it for 50 years, who has 2 degrees, who has 36 years experience of television and radio, discussing all these things, who has read so extensively in the monarchy, I don't think there are any books left I haven't read. So peddling myths, no, absolutely 100% not. Giving you facts. Just because you don't understand doesn't mean it's not true. Are you with me? I've had a halfway on the TikTok going up talking absolute bunkum. And he's going, where's your sources? Where's your sources? I am the source of information on the monarchy. I am a recognized source. People come to McCLUE for information on the history of the monarchy. So, no play for questions. You're 100% wrong. Every fact to back up my claims. They're not even claims. They're just facts. I don't need facts to back up my facts. Facts are facts. Okay? But just because you don't understand doesn't mean something's not true. And just because you don't like being told doesn't mean something's not true. And just because you might disagree with me doesn't mean something's not true. Capiche? Capiche? All right. Scotty, diesel can make your foot slip off the brakes if you stand in it. Well, Professor Numptyhead, I would suggest you don't stand in it. There were diesel on a wet road. If a lorry's had a wee spill or something. Oh, skating rink. Good evening, Scotty. Are you taking calls? No, we haven't, Glenn. No, we're not on the calls tonight. But I am going to have to go soon. I said this 20 minutes ago. Ha ha ha, this is Johnny Boy. Follow us as soon as you can. Thank you, Coco. There we are, Scotty. You're the Scottish Jeremy Clarkson in the amount you speak. Well, Alan, we like to give people information, education, and entertainment. And the great Jeremy has always done that. I can't tell you. And I'm right into cars as well. I wouldn't have minded getting on Top Gear. We wondered about calling a program. I was going to do Top Clutch, but it needs a bit of work, that, I think. Dinky-Doo, Scotty, how are you? How did you celebrate the Jubilee, mate? Says Nathan. I tend to only get called mate with people that would serve in the Navy. But I'll let you away with it. I thoroughly appreciated the Jubilee. There were a tiny bit of money out, huge money in. Again, the half-wits, oh, it's costing us money. They are so daft. So there we go. Hello, pal. Is there a moose loose about the house? Brendan Irish. The wonderful Brendan. How lovely to have you with us. Dinky-Doo. Dinky-Doo, Scotty, how are you? Thoughts on Nicola Sturgeon? Doing a very, very fine job, the First Minister. Very proud of her at the Queen's Jubilee service at St. Paul's. Lovely. Now, she never, ever lets us down, that lady, you know, quite incredible. Now, what was I going to say to you? And this was very, very important. Très important. It'll maybe come back to me. And it was about celebrating the Jubilee. Absolutely loved it. Anyway, yes, it'll come back to it. There's so many things we've been talking about tonight. He ended up in St. Helena, says Galileo. That's it. He was exiled to St. Helena. Now, he wasn't from Elba, was he? Where does Elba come in? Cheaper than diesel, petrol, well, you see, the boats used to have, they could run them on gas oil. And it was, you were able to run a boat, but then I think it was Gordon Brown put that up. Total misunderstanding. They shouldn't let politicians touch things like that. Leave it to the civil service. There we are. Now, who have we got here? Fire damp in the coal mines is lethal. Oh, Geodog, don't I know it? See, Geodog, I lived in Yorkshire twice. And Yorkshire, most of Yorkshire has got the Barnsley seam, top quality grade A coal. And, of course, the mine owners in those days were the likes of the Fitzwilliams and the Norfolks and people like that. And the Newcastles, and they all had mines. And the lovely thing about the Fitzwilliams, Billy Fitzwilliam, Peter Fitzwilliam's father, was a mining engineer. He trained as a mining engineer. So he understood the whole thing about mining. They used to bring up the pit ponies and let them run about the gardens and the big goose. Yes, they were good people, the Fitzwilliams. Big things happening in Perth in the next 2 years. The Stones coming home. Wow, we love it. The Stone of Destiny. There we are. How has the monarch changed your or my life? Chap, they have brought us a fabulous system all of our lives. Remember, I've lived my whole life almost with Elizabeth as Queen. Very exciting. The Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme. Very exciting. Even seeing the Queen. Very exciting. And the things that she's signed and the prime ministers that she's educated in how to run a country. Do you know what I mean? They've changed our lives hugely for the better, chap. So always remember that. Just because someone's remote doesn't mean it's not happening. Well said, Susie Rouser. The legend, TSM, lovely to have you with us. George says, Dinky-Doo. Had that on my motorcycle. Diesel on a corner, lost the front. Deadly stuff spilled. Alistair, yes. Please be careful. Could you say parading a golden carriage while a lot of the nation's starving could be preserved? Frog spawn? Again, you don't understand. The carriage is something like 300 years old. Poverty 300 years ago was just dreadful. Now we can parade the gold coach, and most people are not dying of poverty. Yes? So there have been huge advances. Now, if you didn't have the gold coach, I can guarantee you the same number, if not more, would be starving. The gold coach gives us all something to aspire to. And bless Her Majesty the Queen for agreeing to ride in it, because I don't think it's for the faint-hearted, a coach ride in that. So there, so parading the golden carriage, thank God we've got one. If you sold off all the family silver, the family would starve. There's nothing to go. I'll give you an example. If there was myself and 49 others, 50 of us, and nobody had any money except me, had 50 quid. How much do we all get? We get £1 each. So me being a good left winger, I give everybody a quid, including keeping one for myself. Now, once we've spent that quid, the 49 people come back and go, Scotty, money, we need a wee top up. We've still got to eat. And I go, there is no money because we gave it all away to you. You spent it. Money's gone. Finished. We all starve now. Okay? Whereas I had kept the 50 quid and invested it. I got my first place record in the 70s. It was a message in a bottle. Numpty, you're a wee hoot. Gosh, I'm just looking at the time here. Could you say? So there we are. So yes, indeed. Now then, Dinky-Doo, Scotty, hope you're keeping well. Napoleon was born in Corsica. I thought that, Coelho, but where did Elba? His first exile was Elba. That's it. Will you celebrate the stone coming home to Perth? Well, of course. I may even be invited. Yes, up to Scone Palace. The Earl of Mansfield signed a $12 million check, says chap. Good one, chap. All right, signed a $12 million check. Yes. And I think that was probably quite a cheap way to ensure that Her Majesty the Queen's Platinum Jubilee wasn't upstaged in any way with any goings on and shenanigans. Yeah, I heard it ain't comfy. European coal formed during the Carboniferous period. Our coal during the Permian period. Your dog, your wisdom. So there we go. Now then, the Queen was in the war. She drove an ambulance. She did her duty to the people. 70 years of service. Absolutely, Alistair. 100%. Guys, I'm going to have to dash. I love you, beautiful TikTokers. Follow me. Enjoy the videos. We'll catch up live soon. Dinky-Doo. Beautiful TikTokers, fantastic people. They've had to dash, and we're going to have to dash for all the lovely YouTubers as well. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's program, guys. Lovely, lovely being with you. This is Scottie McClue saying Dinky-Doo to every one of you. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Ta-ta.